Yay. Oop, god damn it. I'll stop properly in like a minute or so. See that Ragnar person? I see them everywhere in the game. And I like that they're dressed like a little witch. I'm obviously dressed like one as well. Sorry, I was checking the audio levels. I have a witch costume, but I wear it. I have the same one on my other account, and I've been wearing it for all Halloween season, so I figured I would do something different and wear my little vampire vest and have my little pumpkin butler out. 'Tis the season, you know? Okay. Now, excuse me. I think what we had to do, or what we had done, is we literally just arrived in Ishgard. Last stream, I remember being real fucking crazy. The person who just ran past was named Potato. I remember last stream, it's the end of a Realm Reborn proper. So like the coup happened in Ul'dah. All the scions are scattered essentially to the four winds. We don't know how many of them are. We don't know if they're alive. It's only me, Alphino, and Tatedi, our little secretary. And we're taking shelter in Ishgard, thanks to Haurchefant and his family. We're actually going to meet Haurchefant's family now. Let me make sure the language is, English is Japanese. Sorry if you like hear me clear my throat and whatnot a bunch. It's just like I didn't have my humidifier on last night, and sometimes it just gets so dry and arid that for the first for the first hour or so of the day, I'm just like in terms of not being able to function. Oh no, I missed the guy. He's all the way back at the beginning. Ugh. This happens a lot. I'm going to anticipate where I need to be instead of being where I need to be. You should be over here. No, and Ishgard's pretty fucked up. Down here especially, or primarily, because of the most recent attack of the Dravanians on the city. That's going to be a big plot point. The fact that only certain areas of Ishgard take the brunt of the war, while others live in relative comfort. Greetings, Mr. Spartage. On behalf of House Forton, I bid you welcome to Ishgard. My lord humbly requests your presence at his residence in the Pillars. If you would all come with me. So I have to go back to exactly where I was. Kind of? Oh, that person's name is French Fries. People come up with, like, the most adorable but slightly odd names for themselves. Most of it's food. But mostly food-based names are given to... whatchamacallit? Fucking... actual potato Lalafels. So to see people with potato-based names who are not Lalafels is a bit confusing. Hold on, just wanted to change something. I think Endwalker comes out in like a week? Just a little over a week? And I'm like, yeah, we know we're gonna get to the end of Endwalker by blah blah blah. No, I'm the end of Endwalker. End of the main story by the time Endwalker comes out. Nope. Nope, still in Heavensward. But I was thinking, I'm like, well, it's definitely much better paced than Realm Reborn is, so we might actually be able to get close to the end of it. Like, end of the main story, not the expansions so much. Oh, pardon me. Oh, Lord. This is going to be our home for a while. Harshafan. After hearing his Japanese voice, his English voice is going to be so weird to go back to. Alright, what do you have to say, Alphino? Oh, wait, whoops. Oh well. The warrior of light and her brave companions, walking the streets of Ishgard at last. What a glorious sight. I cannot tell you how long I have waited for this day. Allow me to present to you my family home, Forton Manor. I should like nothing more than to show you around, but everyone is gathered to receive you. Come, my friends, introductions must be made. Yay. Get ready for some good voice acting.
My lord, I have returned with the Scions.
I hope your journey was not too taxing.
Papa! This is our new, or only dad, really. This is the daddest dad to ever dad in the game.
I, Count Edmond de Fortom, do bid you welcome. As wards of House Fortom, you shall be afforded every courtesy. My home is your home.
And he means it too.
My companions and I are deeply honored, Count Forton.
The honor is mine, Master Alphino. Consider it an expression of our gratitude for your service to Ishgard.
Forgive me, my lord, but are you not concerned? To accept foreign guests at such a juncture, especially ones with our reputation.
Do not worry yourself on my account. 'Tis true that Ishgard's first thought has ever been the war effort, hence the closing of our borders. Yet it is in troubled times most of all that men should seek allies, don't you think? Granted, my decision will have raised eyebrows in the vault and in the halls of the other high houses. But so long as you continue with your altruistic endeavors, I doubt my honored peers will feel moved to voice their concerns.
Then there is naught to fear. Though our numbers are much reduced, we are no less determined to carry on our work.
Full glad am I to hear it. But before you return to your labors, why not take a tour of the city? You would do well, I think, to acquaint yourselves with your new surroundings. After all, you may be here for some time.
Now, when he says that he is grateful for us and that he considers taking us in as his wards to be gratitude for our service to Ishgard, and he gives that very little bow, the shock on yours and Alphina's faces, probably Tatsuru's as well, but you can't really see her, is twofold. It's one, Ishgard has been known to be so closed off to outsiders that the idea of one of the high houses of Ishgard being not only glad to take in outsiders, but grateful to do so, is a shock. And then on top of that, it's also, you know, the signs are like currently anathema in Eorzea, or Ul'Das, Thanalan specifically. So for him to take that risk is shocking to them. And then also I think in a, as like 2.1 sense, like instead of the 2 points, it's like here's a minor sense. I consider it probably the first sign of gratitude that you, as the Warrior of Light, are shown as a person. That's what I really like about Heavensward, is this is the start of characters who acknowledge you and your efforts, not just because, like, oh, of course she can do it, like, oh, she's so useful, like, oh, what, is there ever any doubt that she's so brave and she's so strong? But people acknowledging your sacrifices and your hard work and the risks that you put yourself through, and how it's really your life constantly dedicated to and on the line of all the tasks that you have to do, and what you're forced to do, and then what you promise, or just it's people acknowledging that the vows you make matter, not because it's like, oh, of course, like, you're strong enough to do it, like, you're taken for granted. It's like, you're not taken for granted here at all in Ishgard. And it's, to me, it seems like a very deliberate choice of the writing, and it creates such a completely different atmosphere, and it's why I personally feel like Ishgard is home. And not just in the sense that it makes me feel at home when I come here, but it's my Warrior of Light's home. Yeah. And that's why I go so hard, like, oh, Count Edmond de Forton's papa, because he's your dad. And without getting too deeply into it, that sentiment is actually not considered, but that sentiment is canon. There'll be some times in the upcoming main storyline, even past Heavensward, where your character reflects on their time here. And also, I just want to get this out of the way now, just because it's kind of sad. Edmond's voice actor passed away recently. He was an amazing actor, and I love his voice. It's just so, it just makes me think, you know, dad, like just nice, soothing dad energy. And for his passing, people across all different servers and data centers, basically across the world, went outside of the Forton Manor and made a vigil. Like, they put down little bonfires, and were either paladins or dark knights, mostly paladins though, and just lined up outside the house and kept watch. And it's really, really sad, because this neighborhood is called the Last Vigil. So it's, oh, yeah, I did that too. I just kind of stayed for a while, out of respect. Anyway, let's go around and talk to everybody. I feel like I don't do that a lot, and it makes me kind of sad because I'm like, oh man, someone wrote commentary for these characters to say during these interims between picking up quests, and I think so many people skip over them. So let's see what Harshfon has to say. So what do you think? Be honest. It's great, isn't it? Da-da-da. So this is what the inside of a manor of a high house looks like. To think that Lord Harshathon was raised here. Yeah, this place is beautiful, except for the low-res chair that I just scanned past, but this place is lovely. A manservant. It is an honor to have you with, as you bow through me, it is an honor to have you with us, Mistress Bartage. Thank you. I'll keep some distance from the next guy. The steward. Greetings, Mistress Bartage. How may I be of assistance? Tell me about House Forton. The origins of House Forton could be traced back to King Thornton and his Knights 12. The first King Thornton. Wow. Ours was one of the 4 founding houses of Ishgard. Accordingly, our interests extend far beyond the walls of the city proper. Camp Dragonhead, for instance, is our responsibility. As for the family, you have of course met my lord Count Edmond de Forton, who is the head of our house. His 2 sons, my lord Artourel and Emmeline, are next in line. May the Fury watch over and keep them from harm. Note that he didn't list Harshathon. And note that Harshathon greeted his father, as my lord. There's a reason for that. That I think is probably obvious. As for those sworn to House Forton, in addition to the knights, squires, and infantry, more than 100 craftsmen, retainers, and other servants possessed of notable skill are pledged to our service. I feel like the dots here are him trying to like navigate gently around the topic of Harshathon. Also, wow, that's crazy. More than 100 craftsmen, retainers, and other servants are pledged to our service. Wow! Given our strong position, one might expect us to have no truck with foreign merchants and sellswords. However, nothing could be further from the truth. I should think that my lord the Count is quite clear on this point, but it was our hope that you and your allies would, by your deeds, help us to convince the other high houses of the wisdom in opening the gates of judgment to all, among other things. More than anything else, though, I suspect he saw in you potential. And tell me about Ishgard. More than 1,000 years ago, Helone appeared before King Thornton I and bade him lead his people to the Promised Land, to the lands we now call home. And so the king and his Knights 12 did as was commanded. They came to Carthus to found a great kingdom in the Fury's name. I don't remember if it's connected to the Ishgardian mythos of their origins, or the Carthus mythos of their origins. But Elezen were mostly located in Gridania, both Wildwood, quote-unquote, and I can't remember the other name of them. There's 2 different types of Elezen. One's like a darker, like, bluish, grayish skin, and the other can be, like, anything between really dark brown, black skin, to the palest white motherfucker you ever saw. Anyway, those are Ishgardian Elezen. Anyway, but they originally started in Gridania, and then some of them moved north to Carthus, and I think that's what he's referencing, and I'm pretty sure it's part of the Carthus mythos, which is that Helone appeared to certain Elezen in the south, and they moved, or not certain, but certain Elezen responded to her call, I guess. But again, let's just kind of like gently side-eye and go, okay, sure, to the concept of this being not just the story of their origins, as fantastical as it is, but their history. This is considered fact. And we, as players who live in the real world without magic, may scoff at it and be like, oh, of course that's ridiculous. But we also have to consider it through the context of a fantasy game, where gods are, like, really, you could point to them, like, there's a god right there. Look, summon them up all the time. We can do magic. A bunch of weird shit happens. A crystal talks to me. The planet talks to me. Like, look at this and be like, you know what, that doesn't sound too impossible. Or impossible at all. Just pay more attention, I guess, to how they describe things. Like the diction and the tone and certain things that are said instead of the comment or the belief as a whole. That's another big important thing here during Heavensward, is pay attention not so much to the full thing of, oh, every word is ridiculous, but certain words you're going to be like, wait a minute. Anyway, sorry. And so the king and his knights 12 did as was commanded. They came to Carthus to found a great kingdom in the Furies' name. But the great worm Nidhogg would not have it so. With hatred in his heart, Nidhogg sought out King Thordan. In the ensuing battle the king and half his knights were slain, but his son Haldreth rallied the others and drove back the fell beast. Thus did the war between our peoples begin, the war between dragon and man. For 1,000 years Ishgard has stood against the horde, and not once were our defenses breached, until the day Lady Iceheart's allies shattered our wards on the steps of faith. Oh wow, yeah, then that makes their hatred of her even more significant. If the city has been relatively safe, as safe as it could be, from any direct assault or harm, and then suddenly Lady Iceheart shows up and she's like, fuck y'all. And she has the means to do so, the means to do something about it. And remember that she turned herself into a primal. She summoned Shiva through her. She is a vessel for Shiva. So, not only did she make herself a vessel for a figure of Ishgardian faith from the past, one of the hated people of Ishgardian's faith in the past, she can use that power. So it's, I guess in their mind, it's kind of like a negative second coming, like an evil second coming, and it's her. Anyway. Though the wyverns were slain before they could breach our defenses here, those in Foundation were not so fortunate. Unarmed men, women, and even children were made to feel the Dravanians' wrath. Walls can be rebuilt, but lives lost can never be reclaimed. My lord the Count knows this all too well. Oh my god. Alright, let's go for a lighter thing. What do you do here, buddy? Me? Why, I am but a humble steward sworn to House Forton. I doubt you wish to hear the minutiae of my duties. Simply put, at the behest of my lord the Count, I manage household affairs. I have served at his pleasure for more than 50 years, and by the Furies' grace I shall serve for 50 more. I remember Elizin lived for like over 100 years, so him, as old as he looks, it's not unlikely that he will be here for another 50 years. Alright, let's talk to his kids. And Lionel Lane. They'll be whispering about you soon if they aren't already. The mysterious guests of House Forton or some such. Greetings, Scion, and welcome. We are honored by your presence. Okay, good. Hey, Dad. As I said before, my home is your home. After all you have done on our behalf, it is the least I can offer. Okay, thanks, Dad. What do you think, Alphina? Alright, yeah, I'm not going to be reading every line of dialogue. Only the ones that are super important. This is just like we can't impose on them too much. We should learn about our home, so we become more self-sufficient. And Tatsuru's like, yeah, bitch, I'm going to go to the tavern and listen in on some gossip. It's so cute. I love her. Then they're going to go on a tour of the city. My manservant shall accompany you. That's cool. Yeah, I like this. That they give it to her. Oh, this is important. Oh, he has pretty blue eyes. Ah, but I grow forgetful in my dotage. There is something I must give you ere we part. The documentation is in order, I trust? Yes, my lord. Those documents identify you as wards of House Forton. Given that our borders have remained closed for decades, many of my countrymen are unaccustomed to treating with foreigners. Should anyone happen to question your presence here, it may prove necessary to remind them that you remain under the protection of House Forton. Let us hope it shall not come to that. Rest assured that we shall do our utmost to avoid any situation which might compel us to invoke your name. Oh! Eva, Tatsuru, the city awaits. I love the little gentle bows he gives us. He doesn't bow to anyone else, just to us. Ah, I love that quest music. That quest music and the Shadowbringers one are my favorite, and I'm going to be really sad when I don't hear them anymore. That's how I feel about the menu screen when you sign in. Is I'm going to be so sad when it's not Shadowbringers theme anymore, when it goes to Endwalker. I'm like, I'm not ready to say goodbye to the choir. Anyway, God, you're so tall. Even in my 2B heels, you're so fucking tall. As this is your first time in our fair city, pray permit me to show you to the Hoplon, from whence you may gaze upon the splendor of the Holy Vault. Though all other sights pale in comparison, 'tis only meet that you see it first. I shall then show you around the jeweled croisière, where you may purchase all manner of goods and services. Money can be exchanged for goods and services. Before descending to Foundation's Aetheryte Plaza, if there are no questions. I will actually be reading some of these because it's interesting history. It's me and my little pumpkin butler. Right, he's so cute that he runs with his arms up like ah! Like he's just a little kid at a park. He's just so excited to be where he is. God, I love this place. Awfully fond of statues, aren't they? The Hoplon, so named to the bronze great shield borne by our nation's patron deity, is the largest plaza in Ishgard. The magnificent cathedral to the north is, of course, the Holy Vault. That statue there is King Thornton, with the holy moonlight greatsword, apparently. The vault is both Ishgard's seat of government and the residence of the Archbishop of the Ishgardian Orthodox Church. Begging your pardon, the statues to the south, are they perchance Thornton's famed Knights 12? Very good, Master Alphino. They are the fathers of Ishgard, the brave knights who joined with King Thornton I to put down Nidhogg and found this great nation. Ours is a city rich in history and tradition, and there is much you can learn by exploring the pillars, time permitting, of course. Now then, if you would follow me to the Jeweled Crozier, I shall introduce you to Mr. Soleil, our master of the markets. To go back to what I was saying earlier about how, like, history and faith are so tightly interwoven here, is this whole avenue, I guess, this whole area has the statues of the Knights 12 and the first King Thornton lining it. So every time you come here, you look and see the statues of the men who are responsible for founding your nation attached to the Holy Vault, which is obviously a church. So it's just, like I said, history and faith are so interwoven that it's kind of burned into your brain that they're one and the same. So your knowledge and understanding and just trust in history and fact is tightly laced with faith. And as we know, strong faith in something can lead to problems here in this world. Well, you're certainly not... Oh, excuse me. Well, you're clearly not locals or traveling peddlers, which makes you all... I guess I'm showing them my documents. Ah, words of House Fortemps. How very interesting. Yep. We're here in Ishgard for as long as we wish, which may be some time. We want to work with you. Sorry if it's weird because they're foreign. We do not discriminate in matters of money. Oh, okay, there's an old feeling here. This is basically the market. Etherite Plaza and Foundation. I love that she has like a little, aw, that's cute. A little, mobile, I guess, stovetop to make tea or whatever. It's, here in Ishgard, they really like hot chocolate. That's actually a canon. If you buy any hot chocolate drinks or like coffee, it'll be noted that it's a beloved drink or beloved beverage of Ishgard. So people just make hot chocolate on the side of the road. It's really, really cute. Music feels like coming home, which is another reason why I'm not ready to say goodbye to the Shadowbringers menu screen. Like, weirdly enough, because the opening lyrics to that are riding home, finding hope, don't lose hope. And to me, Shadowbringers and that feeling is connected to not just Shadowbringers, but to this. So I'm like, if I don't hear it anymore, I'm just gonna be sad. And here we are. Oh, Foundation's Aetherite Plaza. Basically, like, please attune yourself to this so you can teleport easier. Yay. No one believes me, but the music that plays when you accept a quest in Heavensward to me sounds like 5 golden rings from that fucking Christmas song. Nobody believes me. It drives me nuts. As for our next destination, we should decide together. Okay. Skysteel Manufactory stands to the west. There, engineers conceive and manufacture weapons for use against the dragons. The Holy Stables, where chocobos are trained for war, also lie in that direction. The manufactory is really, really cool. It's about as close to, steampunk as... Actually, yeah, it's basically steampunk / diesel punk. Mostly steam, though. To the north and east can be found the congregation of our Knights Most Heavenly, while to the south and east, well, it would be best if you avoided that area. It's basically the police district is close to the bad district. Why is that? I fear our knights may not be able to ensure your safety in the lowest levels, Master Alphino. So here's some drunk guy telling us to fuck off. Oh, hey. I recognize this guy. Unsavory character.
Come to see the sights, have you? Take a turn down the hopper and go up at the statues. Well, if you've a mind to learn how the better half live, come and have a drink at the Forgotten Knight.
Leave Alphino alone, okay, fucker? Like, he's... If anything, like, he'll take that as a challenge and be like, alright, fucker, I'm gonna show up and pay attention. No, my humblest apologies, Master Alphino. Pray pay that drunken lout no mind. Nope. Oh, but I must. It would not do to refuse such a heartfelt invitation. Yes, I simply must see this Forgotten Knight for myself. Once again, I'd like to bring up the fact that I see Alphino as a proxy for the Warrior of Light. So when he says certain things that have really nothing to do with his personal story, I see it as something the Warrior of Light would say. So this is totally something Eva would be like, yeah, dude, let's go. I trust you see the wisdom in this, Eva. Yeah, sure, let's go. Listen to gossip and maybe find news of our missing comrades. Oh, not that I expect to hear news of them, rather. He's just like, oh god. The manservant, he's like, I'm paid well, but I don't have a knife. I can't protect you if it all comes to that. May I have one drink of me? No, I mustn't. Oh my god, Alpha, no, you can't drink here. Once more, I must urge you to reconsider. There are several gentlemen who appear less than pleased by our presence. That poor guy, he's just like, well, if anyone fucks him up, they got the whole high house to deal with. I must say this is rather unusual. Not just one, but a whole party of fresh new faces in my tavern. We but recently arrived in Ishgard and are eager to acquaint ourselves with her more notable establishments. Master Gibralon, just Gibralon will do, and I'm flattered you think so highly of my establishment. Can't promise it'll live up to your expectations, but if it's decent food and drink you're after, you could do much worse. Can't help but notice you have a different sort of customer here. Up here you'll find peddlers, porters, off-duty knights, and so forth. Regulars maybe, but not locals. Folks in the broom, they tend to... The broom is the unsavory district. Those are the locals. They tend to congregate downstairs, where we offer a menu more suited to their tastes. Cheaper meals, stronger spirits, all quality, mind, but not the sort of stuff I'd recommend to yourselves. Why do they call them the broom, if I may ask? Because when the weather's foul and the broom rolls in thick, it's the poor sods living at the bottom who have to deal with it. Figurative and literal. See. And it's not just the weather. When the wyverns broke through the wards and started tearing up the city, it was the broom that got the worst of it, while the pillars enjoyed the protection of the high houses and the temple knights. More than a few people are still sore about that, mind, which is why, considering your present company, I'd recommend you keep your wits about you if you mean to go below, and something sharp in your boot, just to be sure. I shall take your words to heart, sir. Master Forton, I think it would be best if we return to Forton Manor. Master Forton, I'm sorry, Master Alphino. God. I'm staying for a drink or two. Mistress Tatadu, I am afraid that is out of the question. My lord the Count would never forgive me if I abandoned one of his charges in such a place, least of all a maiden. What are you up to, Tatadu? Look around, Alphino. This tavern is full of people whose business regularly takes them beyond the gates of judgment. With friends like that, I could practically live here and wait for the newest gossip to come from me. Indeed, but will you be safe here on your own? Oh, please, do you know how often I looked after the waking sands and the rising stones by myself? If I had a gill for every unwelcome caller I've driven away, I'd be rich beyond my wildest dreams. I'd be fine. Not that I doubt the lady's knack for fending off unwanted advances, but I'll be damned if I'm going to let anyone lay an unwelcome hand on the patron in my establishment. I love Gibralon. He's so good. He's also really cute. That settles it then. Tatadu, Eva and I shall return to the manor for now. Contact me by link pearl if you require assistance. I will. She's so cute. One of the only good potatoes. Now what have we here? Sidergu. Comment unavailable in Museum Plus mode. Interesting. Usually you can come over and talk to him. He'll just kind of look at you, I think, and just be like, this table's like, what? Like, this table is occupied, find another one. And then at some point, he just looks at you and says that the temple knights are always watching, be careful. he's related to the Dark Knight questline, which we will be doing. I'm not sure when, because it's not really tied to events in the main storyline, but I do want to do it before the end of Heavensward, so I'll have to figure out a good time to do it. Hey, a new little guy showed up. Hey, Honor Boy. Pray do not concern yourself with me, madam. Okay, little dude, don't worry. Does Ishgard meet with your expectations? Hell yeah! I felt the weight of 1,000 years of history with every step I took, and when those steps took me past the scars left by the wyverns and Foundation, I understood how easily that history could end in tragedy. The attack was devastating, the casualties unspeakable. The wyverns did not discriminate. Unarmed men and women, even children, were given no quarter. Sir Emmerich has ordered his knights to strengthen our defenses, and each house has been called upon to lend what support it can. There's much to be done, yet alas, able-bodied men and women are in short supply. Oh, he looks so sad, Papa, don't be sad. Mayhap we could be of assistance, my lord? After all you have done for us, we would welcome any opportunity to repay your kindness. Hell yeah. Don't mind my hair clipping through my collar. That is a most generous offer, Master Alphino. You are guests in my home, to whom I have extended my hospitality without obligation, let or lien. Lien? Obligation, let or lien. Okay. Nevertheless, Ishgard's need is great, and if you are willing to aid our cause, I cannot well refuse. Good. What would you ask of us? Oh, a bow again. From what I have heard, you are an intelligent and persuasive young man. Such qualities may prove useful, most useful to us in our efforts to secure provisions from foreign sources, identifying trustworthy suppliers, brokering contracts, and so on. As for you, Mistress Bartage, I could ask for no one better than a storied veteran such as yourself, a woman with the capacity to act swiftly and decisively when needed, to aid our Taurellan and Manalaine in our duties. I beg your pardon? I am more than capable of carrying out my duty by myself. I have no need of our honored guest's assistance. Now, be reasonable, brother. What manner of fool would say no when a famous hero offered to do his work? Hold your tongues, by the fury. The two of you will conduct yourselves with dignity befitting your station and show Mistress Bartage the respect she deserves. Fuck yeah, tell him, Dad. This is the woman who slew Gaius Van Belsar and some half-dozen primals besides. She's not here to steal your glory or serve as your errand girl.
Thanks, Dad.
If you can pardon their impropriety, Mistress Bartage, I should be much obliged if you would lend my sons a helping hand. My thanks. Fury willing, they may even learn something from you. Oh, Papa. He's dressed like fucking Count Dracula. He's dressed for Halloween every day of the year. You know, my character's like, I put on a witch hat and a little vampire cloak robe thingy with a little bat on it. I'm prepared. I know what's up, Alphino. 'Twould seem we shall not want for employment over the coming days, though that was never in doubt. Our host's initial reluctance to accept our offer of aid was solely for appearance's sake. In truth, he is glad of the opportunity to put us to work. By granting his patronage, House Fortemps has taken a tremendous risk. Until we demonstrate our worth to Ishgard at large, the Count will face considerable opposition from his peers in matters great and small. And so he would have us publicly serve Ishgard, whilst simultaneously keeping his sons in check. 'Tis an arrangement we may benefit from in unexpected ways. My own duties may feasibly bring me into contact with people who know something of our missing comrades. And as you that's a big paragraph, did not expect to see. Sorry, hold on a sec. Sorry. And as you go about helping our two lords with their various responsibilities, you will inevitably make new acquaintances, mayhap even new allies. Yay! Good idea. Cool. Man, let's talk to this fucker first. God, I hate him. I hate him so much. Ugh. When a man like Lord Emmanuel is in high spirits, you can be sure that trouble is in store. Yeah, even the game is like, yeah, he fucking sucks. Oh my god. I have this like family group. Well, there's the group text for my dad and my siblings. There's a group text for my mom, my stepdad, and me. There's a group text for me, my mom, my stepdad, and my siblings. And it's just, at some random time of day, we will all decide to talk to each other. And I'm just like, no, please. Please. Please stop. Shall we be off then, old girl? But where are my manners? Madeleine de Forton, second son of Count Edmond de Forton. Crewborn, that is. So there you go, that's his dig at Haurchefant. Because Haurchefant, I believe, is older, clearly older than Madeleine, and Madeleine looks very young. So he probably just recently had his little growth spurt. So Haurchefant is a bastard child of the Forton family. Yes, yes, I know what you're thinking, and you are absolutely right. What ill fortune to be born second in society where the eldest inherits all. Oh, my brother would never cut me off, 'tis true, but who could be satisfied subsisting on a meagre allowance, forever overshadowed by his sibling? Not I, old girl, not I. I didn't ask. Which is why I need your help to ensure that this business in the sea of clouds goes swimmingly, so that the tales of my great deeds can win me a place in the people's hearts, or better yet, raise me higher in their estimations than Artois. Ambitious, I grant you, but then I do have a legendary hero to do my bidding. Oh, don't look at me that way. I jest, I jest. Anyway, we are to aid the good men and women of House Halenar. They have ever been steadfast friends to our house, though they've fallen on hard times since the calamity, poor blighters. As for what precisely we will be doing, well, what fun would it be if I told you everything in advance? Just come along with me to the airship landing. We'll need to take the airship to Camp Cloudtop. That little kid is apparently supposed to be like Madeleine's manservant, which I find it funny that the oldest son doesn't have one, but like they have to give the younger one kind of like a babysitter, but the babysitter slash manservant is obviously younger than him. So it's like, okay, let's just put the little kid next to the shitlord's son to keep him in check. Oh, and I have to do the Astrologian questline too. Wow, I have to do... Because I think I said in a previous stream, I won't be doing every class that I have quest thingy unless it's really important for the MSQ. And, or just interesting for the location where we're at. And really the only ones that I think are important slash relevant are Summoner, Astro, Dark Knight, and Red Mage. I would probably put Ninja in there only because of some things of what it shows Doma, but not Doma, but like concepts of the Far East in this game, but most of that stuff was written before they even really knew what they were going to do with Stormblood, so that's why I'm like, I'm not sure. But the Red Mage storyline does kind of have more of a weight to it because of when it was developed. Ready to depart? Yep.
Upon an airship, conceived within the fecund mind of Cid Garland, renegade prodigy of Garlemald, who had come to call Eorzea home. High into the heavens, where isles of earth and stone floated as clouds, a frontier the knights of Ishgard had scarce begun to explore. To a fledgling outpost, within the sea of clouds, where careworn scouts ever scanned the skies for winged shadows, she came.
Hot dog. Why? Okay, what do you want, Emmanuel? The names in this game are getting like Dark Souls tier or Bloodborne tier in terms of how silly they are. It's so good. I love it. Awfully cold up here. I mean, Karthus may not be blessed with the warmest weather in the world, but compared to this, it seems positively balmy. And of course, our hero is wholly unperturbed. You don't have to maintain that strong, silent persona all of the time, you know. This is also the start where the game will have characters comment on how you remain, like, stony-faced and unresponsive to things. Which, I guess, makes it canon that the Warrior of Light just sort of completely disconnects any emotional expression. Which is really sad. Alright, that guy's standing inside of me, that's really weird. Anyway, so I'm this guy now. Never mind. We need to find Lady Lanier. She is in charge of the garrison here. Oh, when we find her, just follow my lead. Yes? Excellent. Oh, right, I can fly here. Minion change. Whoopsie. No. Oh. But yeah, I love this place. It's it's just so creepy, but like beautiful and creepy. It's like, yeah, there's just islands floating in the sky. And it's so far up in the sky that the clouds are a sea beneath it. You're just like, what the fuck? Just makes the sky like this constantly or the heavens, this constantly unexplored territory that is also a figure or a place of fear, considering dragons can fly. Huh. Mistress Bartage, welcome. I'm Sir Lanier de Helenar, commander of the forces stationed here at Camp Cloudtop. Strange though it may sound, I have long dreamed of meeting you. I am in your debt, you see, and shall ever remain so. Were it not for you, my younger brother Francel would have been executed upon the word of a false inquisitor. Yeah, that was at the end of A Realm Reborn. We saved poor little Francel. And Now you meet his sister, and his sister's really fucking cool. Alas, a knight must go where duty demands, and thus have I been unable to seek you out. But by the grace of Helone, I have been granted an opportunity to thank my brother's savior in person, and to call upon her generous aid besides. Truly I know not what I have done to deserve this double blessing. It's my pleasure, don't worry. 'Tis a pleasure to see you again, my lady Lanier. Laniette? No, there's an I there, so Lanier. Laniette? I said Lanier, so whatever. You cut an elegant figure as always, a steel-clad rose, equally at home on a battlefield or in a ballroom. Lord Manolaine, if it is not too much to ask, I should be grateful if you would allow me to finish speaking with Mistress Bartage. Shut up, fuckboy. Camp Cloud, and then the music comes back. Camp Cloudtop was established to provide early warning of impending Dravanian incursions. The high elevation afforded by the floating isles makes it ideal for this purpose. Naturally, it also makes us a ready target for attack. We are not defenseless, however. The Protector, our largest and most advanced airship, is capable of downing all but the mightiest dragons. Alas, as you may have noticed, it is currently undergoing repair. What is worse, our efforts have been hampered by an indigenous beast tribe known as the Vanu Vanu, with whom we have had several skirmishes already. No beastman is a match for a man of Ishgard. Bring me a birdman and I'll show him a thing or two. Shut up. Ugh. If you're much more, maybe asked of you in the days to come, Mistress Bartage. Yeah, I'm no stranger to babysitting idiots. I would rather not waste valuable time ensuring that the young lord doesn't get trampled underfoot. Might learn something, but left to his own devices, he'll just make a mess. Yeah, so she's like, okay, can you do me a favor and keep an eye on that dude? Keep an eye on Madeleine, and make sure he knows what he's responsible for here. Where are... there we go. Request from Lanier. Why didn't she think to ask me in person? Surely she must see me standing here but a few yalms away. Oh, never mind. What is it? And I have to make him feel important. I mean, I've said this before. I've said this. I almost want to say this just to see what he goes by. Yeah, let's try that. Oh, that's rather childish of you. A mission of paramount importance. Keep watch for Dravanian outflyers. A mission? Yes, of course. Now go make yourself useful, asshole. And by the way, kid, I do not believe I have properly introduced myself. My name is Roy, and I serve as the pleasure of Lord Manolaine. Lady Landier would have me accompany Lord Manolaine on his mission. Oh, I will do my utmost to keep him out of harm's way. Like, what do you think this little 12-year-old can do? He's even younger than Alphino, so it's like, what the fuck do you think that kid's gonna do? Were he of another house, mayhap I would not feel obligated to go to such lengths to preserve his safety and dignity. It would seem he actually listens to you. Or mayhap you are more skilled at this than most. I suspect you have had to humor your fair share of difficult men before. I wonder if that's a line specific to a female warrior of light. Oh, sorry if you hear the dog. The struggles of the Vanu Vanu. We first encountered the Vanu several years ago, when we had just begun to explore the Sea of Clouds. After an exchange of pleasantries and gifts, we received permission to construct a permanent lookout post. Almost said lackout. Ooh. There was peace between our peoples for half a year, until suddenly, for reasons unknown, their attitudes towards us changed. They began to attack our foraging parties without provocation, forcing us to rely more heavily on supplies flown in from Ishgard. But words are no substitute for first-hand experience. Go and see Sir Marielle. She could use your assistance. Mistress Bartage, I presume? Lady Lanier told me you were coming. Never faced a Vanu before. They're native to the floating isles. I say birdmen, but they're not at all like the Ixal. Unless that Ixal's mother was a Gigas. If you discover any Vanu in these areas, kill or drive them away. Oh dear. And once again, the sentiment of how to treat beast tribes continues to be violence first, diplomacy second. Although, to be fair, they did have diplomacy, and then suddenly they started getting violent. So, okay, I take that back. You sense a hostile presence. Oh right, I'm a summoner, I'm supposed to have something summoned. There we go. The creatures here are cute and weird. Like that guy, does he blink? I don't think he does. He just kind of hangs out. What are you? What are you modeled after? It's like a huge chipmunk. Oh, and there's these little like flying cats. I think they're adorable, but I hate fighting them because they make like angry / scared cat noises when you defeat them, and I'm like, oh thanks. Oh thanks, kitty. You steel yourself for a mighty struggle, yet find no Vanu lying in wait. Probably could have flown to this one. No, it's not that far. Yeah, you take care of it. I have kept watch for the Vanu. Oh, it's Odin's horse. Yay. He has the same little purple wigglies around him that my Hades dragon does. But I like listening to him clomp on the ground. Don't ask how I can walk up a giant net. Just shh, don't ask. Maybe it was too much to hope for a day without a skirmish. Yep, at least I'm a mighty ally. Things here are rather peaceful. To the detriment of our garrison's discipline. Okay. She wants us to go around and make sure that the people here feel a bit more pride in where they've been stationed. Hold on. Okay, I may have to actually cut the stream short in about an hour, depending on the response I get back from my mom. Because there was like plans for something today. Right, this dude's not too fussed about where he is. Is there anything fluffier than a cloud? Yes, a Moogle. And I gotta psych him up. Like, yeah, buddy. Yeah, protect this guard. Doing great. By the furry, whatever possessed you to do that? Oh, I'm awake. Find sentries and psych him up. Trying to remember how to get to where one of these guys is. Oh, wait a minute, I could just fly. Oh boy. Whew. I obviously need to have this coffee. I would be so terrified. So terrified to be here. Like, you could just walk right the fuck off. A strong gust of wind will knock your ass to the ground. Hey fucker, wake up. You had me fooled there for a moment, old girl. Surely you must realize how unsuited I am to the monotony of mere sentry duty. Lady Lanier will give me a grand mission as befits my station. So if you haven't noticed yet, Madeline is not only the problem child, a problem child, but he just smells his own farts and thinks they're wonderful. Ye gods, where did that come from? If you insist, I'll make an effort to be more alert. Alright, I'm gonna be super lazy. Hope it's the car again. Oh no, it's my little witchy broom. Oh, cute and very appropriate. Many thanks. I can already see a change in our sentry's behavior. If Lord Madeleine is going to demand a more dangerous duty, then I expect Lady Nanier will want you to accompany him. Oh. Yeah, it's 12:15. I'm gonna have to go around 1. Unfortunately, I didn't expect to be interrupted like this. Sorry. Oh well. I could probably pick it up later tonight, actually. That should be fine. Lord of Madeleine has just informed me that mere sentry duty is beneath him. I understand we have you to thank for this epiphany. Well, there's nothing for it but to give him something more demanding, then. Can I count on you to keep him safe? Unfortunately, yes, I will. We need fresh water. A unique variety of crystals. Okay. So we have to go off, find water crystals to help them. Whoop, whoop. But there's a lot of dangerous beasts in the area, so... If I didn't know any better, I'd swear she's avoiding me. What is it? A vital mission on the success of which the very survival of Camp Cloudtop rests. Go and fetch a spring crystal from the floating lakes to the east. with me. I had my other characters say that with them, but yeah, again, let's make the little baby feel important. Finally, it's about time she entrusted me with the mission of Reelenport. God. Oh no, when I say, I mean I have to go, I mean I have to stop streaming because I'll be like interrupted more than I would want. Nary a Vanu in sight, how disappointing. I could do with some sport. I know, why don't you and I make it a competition? Whoever finds the superior specimen wins. I kind of feel bad for him because it's so clear that he wants to be important. Like, he wants to matter. Or rather, he wants to feel as if what he does matters, and not only matters, but is so significant and so special that it can't be denied. But I don't think that's a sentiment that his father would have put into his head. Which then, I guess, makes me think that maybe he's jealous or spiteful or what's the term I'm looking for? Threatened. Yeah, I guess threatened by the faith and responsibility and love that his dad has for Harshavan. Which is why one of the first things that comes out of his mouth is like, oh, I'm the second true-born son. Alright. Crystal's not good enough. That's a giant fucking seashell, oh my god. So there is a part of me that does feel bad for the guy. Because he's not a middle child, he's the youngest, but he's the youngest child's the middle child syndrome of, he has competition in the family, he has to prove himself or something, which I suppose is it's something ingrained within his thoughts by living in high society in Ishgard, where there's the heir and the spare, and he's pretty much the spare. And so then that makes him probably get this behavior from childhood onward of like, I have to stand out, so he acts out, because that's the way he gets attention. But it's negative attention, but any attention will do. But then as he gets older, that type of thinking becomes dangerous, not just for himself, but like how he uses and treats other people. And that's the stage he's at in his life, where his desperation to matter and stand out has turned into complete pig-headed selfishness. So my sympathy can only go so far, I guess. God, I can't remember where the good one is. I don't even know if it's random or if it's always in this one set spot, but I never remember where it is. Oh my god. I'll just drive the car around in the water. I keep checking the map to make sure I'm still in the circle. Because sometimes it's hard to tell where the orange is on the mini-map. Yay, I found the crystal that I fucking need. Jesus. I should have assumed it would be the one furthest away. It's a giraffe! Oh, wait, I said 1. I meant 12:30. God damn it, my brain. So in about 10 minutes, I'll have to call it the stream. Yeah, here's some crystals, whatever the fuck. My understanding is limited, but can this truly be used to draw moisture from air like water from a pump? Fascinating. Crystals are... I wish I had more of a firm grasp on the concept of how crystals are used here, because they're not like crystals that form in caves or whatever that we have in reality. Crystals are like concentrated, physically formed, tangible sources of ether, and can be used in different ways. And this, it's like, okay, well, since this is a water crystal, it collects water from the air, and then we can crack open the crystal and use it as a water source, which is weird, but it's so cool. Final Fantasy XII had something like that, where it was different types of crystals, or was it? They weren't called crystals. They were called something else. But like either like an aetheryte or a small little nethicite, something like that, that they were used for various household things. So like, hold on, I gotta help this guy. So, a series of unfortunate events. Okay, Manoline is gone somewhere. Yeah, so sorry, in 12, people would use like a little fire crystal as like matches or a lighter or something to use in whenever they needed fire and such or water, air, blah blah blah. So I thought that was just so cool. I still think it's really cool. And crystals have been something used in Final Fantasy for ages. Both as like, oh, the crystals of various elements are in danger. And I don't know, I kind of wonder who came up with the idea of, oh, they have to be crystals. And that makes me think like, oh, is it based on the Dark Crystal? Or like old fantasy movies from the 80s that had crystals as a source? I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent here. Knowing what I know of the inspirations for Final Fantasy, I have yet to figure out where crystals come into play as an inspirational source, or if it's just something they decided one day. It's a good decision regardless, okay? Madeline has been gone for an awfully long time. Should you perchance happen to see him? Please assist me in looking for him. Ugh. Gotta make sure the spare is okay. And that'll be the last quest we do before I have to call the stream. For now. I'll pick it up again later. Probably around dinner time. Maybe like 7, 8, 6, 7, whatever. Figure it out. I see no sign of a Madeleine. Oh, for fuck's sake. The fucking car. I find a Madeleine and be like, you sit in the back seat and you think about what you've done. Uh-oh. Mrs. Bartage, Lord of Madeleine has been taken by the Vanu. They have my lord surrounded, a whole gang of them. Please, you must come quickly. I'm like, oh man, my wish came true. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll do it for Papa Fortomp and no one else. I don't think I need a mount, but I'm gonna take one anyway. Whenever the car pops up, I can't help but laugh, because it's just like, it's so like, I don't know, it's so unexpected, especially in 14, where this kind of technology only exists within the Empire, and the Empire actually do have cars. Like, they have Magitech and shit, so they do have these types of cars. So it's just like, it's just so ridiculous. Oh, level sync. Yeah, we'll go very easy. I'm not here to prove anything. Perhaps I should take off my witchy hat. Ivana must have taken him to that village, mayhap to present to their chieftain. I will make haste to the Rose House and tell Lady Lenier what has happened. Yet by the time I return with aid, it may already be too late. Forgive me for asking, Mistress Bartage, but should you spy an opportunity to sneak past the sentries and rescue Lord Madeleine in my absence, I beg you to take it. I know he can be a trifle presumptuous and insensitive and, well, insufferable, but he doesn't deserve this. Okay, don't worry. Does he not deserve it? He does deserve the fear of the Fury stricken into his heart, but okay, if you insist, kiddo. Oh, right, I have the Echo and that blue thing. Which is only New Game Plus, but that's also something I think it's only New Game Plus. But I've noticed my alt on the Crystal server has, like, New Game Plus bonuses when I do things like this. And I guess that's just the benefit of being on a preferred server, haha. But I don't think I'll stay there for long. My best friend's on Primal, so I'm gonna move the alt over there once my classes reach 70, which doesn't sound like it'd be that bad, but on that character I'm doing every single combat class, and they need to get to 70. However, since it's a preferred server and I get more XP than normal, most of my stuff's already at like 61 to 65, and I just finished Heavensward. So, blah 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 blah. Blah blah technical talk, blah blah game fun. Far too many of my quests in this game involve the indiscriminate slaughter of different species. Now, to be fair, some members of that species are trying to kill me. By the Fury, you're not going to eat me, are you? That's not what you do to prisoners, is it? Eva, I'm over here! Ugh. Yeah. Netherlings come to free prisoners, spread word like thunder, and cast them into Cloudsea. I think these are enemies in 12? Or they're designed, or maybe modeled after something in 12, because they look very familiar. And a lot of stuff that's used, not a lot, well, quite a bit of like creature designs in this game were also in 12. Phew. Yeah, come with me, idiot. That was thoroughly unpleasant. Protect Madeleine and escape the strongholds. Look how slow he fucking runs, the Lofty. Come on, you worthless bastard. Like, you are the figurative bastard, and your actual bastard brother is so much more important and valued. And useful. And nice. And liked. Hoot! Oh my god, his attack is called Hoot. That's adorable. You good? Oh right, yeah, this is... He takes so long, and he's so scared, and he just stands there like, God, why... I know he's programmed to run slow because it's an instance where you gotta wait for something. But it just makes me hate him. More. Oh, didn't mean to spin the camera. Just trying to find where things are gonna pop up. Help has arrived, Eva! Harshaphon! Harshman said you, thank heavens, get us out of here. I don't even know where he is, but... Keep my enemies safe, Eva. We'll hold them off. Thank you, Harshafon. Where you going, kid? Harshafon's of the Silver Fuller. Aww. You can have that as your title too, actually. See, yeah, he's coming over to make sure we're okay. He's a good guy. He's a really good guy. This way, quickly. Like, his heart is so sincere and genuine. Even though he's a bit of a flirt, he's still genuine in his appreciation and compassion.
Reinforcements?
Anger of Honu, chief of mighty Vondo, roils like blackest storm clouds. Offer netherlings to the white. Cloud sea swells and he comes.
So that's the reason why the Vanu have been acting differently. Is they've been tempered.
The white, mighty Bismarck, lord of the mists!
A flying whale? By the Fury, it's a primal. We must away.
Hey, Hoji! It's funny you say that, because something actually came up and I'm gonna have to cut the stream a little short, and like, once the Steam quest is done. But I'll be picking it up later today, around like 6 or 7 Eastern Standard.
Bloody typical. Alright, we're going in.
Aye, Chief.
Sid's like, God damn it, how many times does she get in this trouble? All the time, Sid. All the time. I appreciate you saying hello, Hoji. It's been a bit lonely.
All aboard!
Goggle dude's hair is bopping. Yeah, Sid's got some hair. Yeah, that's the Sid in this game. And it's really cute because, yeah, he's associated with airships and whatnot. So he's Sid, but his last name isn't like Highwind or anything like that, but in Eorzea they have like the Highwind Airways, which is the name of the company that oversees the few airship travel that is allowed between the nations, and it's called Highwind, and I just think that's really, really cute. Like my spoopy, have a thank you. My little vampire vest 2B boots skirt, which had, yeah, like I think it's cute. And my little pumpkin butler. I'm gonna keep the outfit on all weekend. And then hopefully with more people come to the stream later and appreciate it. I don't know what time you'll be available, but yeah. Gods only know what might have happened had we not been around to save you. No need for thanks, though. It's not as if you haven't done the same for us on previous occasions. Alright, more than a few. 'Twas with blind chance that brought us together this time, in case you are wondering. The Holy See has petitioned the Ironworks, that's his company, for assistance with this creation of theirs, the Protector. Apparently they just can't seem to get her flying. Final Fashion 14. Yeah, glam is the true end game. Anyway, I came to I always say this wrong. I always say Clamp Cloud Top. Came to Camp Cloud Top to cast an eye over the ship, only to learn that you had arrived some few days before with an Ashgardian lordling in tow. Small world, I thought, just as said lordling's manservant skittered into view, babbling about his master having been captured and you risking all to rescue him, and the rest, as they say, is history. Fashion fantasy. Yeah, actually, that's true too. Right, well, I hate to cut short our reunion, but I am here on business after all, and the boys are already hard at work. Don't worry, old friend. We'll speak again soon, I promise. Thanks, Sid. Haven't seen you since I was forced to run away from Thanolin after being accused of killing their sultana. Okay. Now, this is where I'll have to cut the stream. For now. I'll pick it up again around like 6, 7, not sure. His jacket is popping too. Yeah, people got some looks in this game. They got some good looks. Pumpkin, yeah, my pumpkin butler. He's very sweet. Just like how he runs around. And sometimes he'll like dance. Yes, see? And then he stops and like looks back or looks up at you to make sure you saw him. He's very sweet. My little pumpkin butler friend. I think sometimes certain minions will react when you interact with them a certain way. Oh, I have to fix this list. Oh, if you pet him, he dances. It's very, 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 very cute. If you have a pet cat out and you pet them, they do like this little stretch. But if you try to pet someone else's cat minion, they kind of like move away from you because they don't know you. But yeah, this guy's really cute. He's my friend. He's my pumpkin butler. Okay, anyway. So I'll be back around like 6 or 7. Whatever time is good for me. Or good for you, Hoji, because I know you work a lot. And I forgot what the rest of that statement was. Anyway, sorry, today's just not a good day for my brain. But yeah, so we helped the first House Fortom idiot child, and then we're gonna have to move on to the eldest son and see what he needs. And that will be tonight's adventure. Yay! Alrighty. Take care, Babs.